Okay, so the last thing that we're going to go over is matting and decorating, and we're going to put our waterfall down, which is very straightforward. You should be able to figure it out, but we're still going to do it. So there's two ways, a couple of ways people typically will mat. So our cover here is 5.5 by 7.5. A lot of people will cut 1/8 of an inch smaller on each side, so you have a very narrow border. So this piece is 7 3/8 by 5 3/8, or they'll do 1/4 inch. So this piece is 7 1/4 by 5 1/4, and you'll see that gives you a bigger mat, not mat, a bigger edge around your matting. Okay, it's all personal preference. Some people like to double mat everything, where you would take like so, you know, and double these up. This cardstock, I think I need to change the blade in that trimmer or get my other trimmer. You know, so I would double mat this with the two colors and then do, you know, my decorations on top, however you choose to do it. So those are typically the way most people will mat on a mini album. So let's go to this back inside page here. And again, 5.5 by 7.5. And I am going to use the 1/8 off. So I just need to pick my paper. And when I go to mat and decorate, the very first thing I usually do is I will go through my papers and I'll figure out which one I want for the front cover, and I'll set that aside, simply so that I don't cut it by mistake. Okay, this one has good cut aparts that you can use. We can use some of these 3x4s on our little half page flap. We'll do that in just a minute. Typically when I buy paper, like this is just the collection, so the stickers and then the 12 pages, I will usually buy extras of the cut aparts, especially if they've got a pattern on the back that I like that little sweater pattern. I'll grab extra of those cut aparts so that I have them. Oh, see, that one's really cute. Available so that I don't, you know, end up needing a cut apart that I've sliced in half for matting or vice versa. Okay, looking for fairly kind of neutral. Oh, and see, we've got more cut aparts here. So there we go. Got lots of cut aparts with this one. I think I'm gonna go with this plaid. So I am gonna cut the branding strip off to start with. Okay. And then I'm going to cut this to 5 3/8 by 7 3/8. Okay. Put my book in. And again, I'm just going to glue it down. Nothing fancy, nothing, you know, complicated. Honestly, I don't know. I kind of want to do it with that. No, because you're covering up too much of it. But I also didn't do the waterfall, so it was the exact same size as the back cover. So we are going to need to mat underneath it. Okay. Okay, so that's down. Now all we're going to do is just put glue on the back of our waterfall base. And just center it on that back inside cover. Literally that easy. Okay, so let's do our 3x4 cut aparts for our little half page flap there. So let me find those. So we're going to need 4 of these. So I'm literally just going to take this bottom row here. Okay. Slide that up and cut off the branding strip. Actually, that may not have been the best one for doing that because I have to cut the height down. So this is definitely not a good cut apart for this. I needed something a little bit different, but you know what I have here I will make work. Okay. So this is 3 inches wide, the cut apart's 3 inches wide. So we're going to take a sliver off of each side. So a 1/16 of an inch off each side. So that this is now 2 7/8 wide. Why are we doing it off of each side? Because we don't want this little sentiment in the middle to be off center. Okay. So our flap is 3.5. This is 4 inches. Okay. So we need to take a 1/4 of an inch off the top and off the bottom. And then I'm going to take that same sliver off the top and bottom again. I could have just done that all in one shot, but I didn't want to make it any more confusing than it already is. So this is going to go here. And then you would do the same thing to mat up above and then underneath. You could do just solid photo mats here. You could leave it blank and just, if you've got one of those little place photo here stamps, I've got one. I've literally never used it because I never put pictures in my albums, but that's, you know, that's me. So that's what you would do with that. So really the rest of this is just following that same process that you come in, you go, okay, how big is this piece that I'm matting? So this is 4 by 5.5. So I think, yeah, so I'm going to cut this to 5 3/8. Actually, it is at 5 3/8. Aha. And 4 7/8. I'm sorry, 3 7/8. So that I can mat right here, and then we can do our closure, you know, our little piece to wrap that ribbon around. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that down, and then I'm going to take my sticker sheet. I'm going to find a snowflake or something that I like. Let's go with, oh, we could do that flower cluster right there. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my scraps, and yes, I know it's a sticker and it's sticky, but sometimes they don't want to stick down. And I'm going to glue that down on cardstock. I'm going to take my little scissors and I am going to fussy cut around this. I'm going to cut off my extra. And I do this with stickers a lot. So when you're decorating, if all you've got is your paper collection and your stickers, this really helps them kind of stand out more. Helps it, you know, if you didn't get like the ephemera pieces or the chipboards, or, you know, if you're using, you know, a paper collection that doesn't have any of those elements, you know, you can always fussy cut and mat and fussy cut again to really make your embellishments pop or to make your own embellishments. And when fussy cutting, typically you're going to move the paper and not the scissors. I know some people really hate fussy cutting. I used to kind of be that way. And at some point I just decided it's really kind of therapeutic and I don't mind it so much anymore. Okay, so we're going to put that right there. And we can do this one of two ways. We can use foam dots stacked together, which is I think how I'm going to do this as soon as I figure out where they are. That is not foam squares. Why have they all disappeared? There they are. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 foam squares. Okay, put one down, pull the backing off, put a second one down right on top. Then I'm going to take, and if you're a card maker and you emboss, you'll probably have an anti-static tool somewhere. I'm actually going to use this one, and I'm just going to kind of go around the edges of that foam square without taking the backing off. And the reason I'm doing that is so that those edges aren't sticky. Okay. And then I'm going to pull this down, the backing off of this. So I'm going to add a couple little dabs of glue on there because I know it's sticky, but they don't always want to stay long term. And we'll put that down. Okay. So after this has had a minute or two to dry, you'll be able to take your ribbon and wrap it around like so for your closure. Okay. That's about it as far as tips and tricks with matting and decorating. Dimension is another thing that's always good. And again, it depends on how much you've got going on your pages. I used to do a lot more dimension on the insides of things, and I've kind of gotten away from that in recent years because they tend to like get stuck together as the books are handled and, you know, pull up and tear and, you know, things you don't necessarily want them to do. So I've kind of gotten away from that over the years, but on the cover, dimension. You can pop things up. You can make it, you know, shakers. I love shakers. I have done hundreds of shakers. We're not going to get into that with this series just because that is a little bit more of an advanced process, but you know, dimension is your friend. It really takes it from, you know, you don't want your entire book to be completely flat, which is another way when you're doing embellishments and decorating and you want it to stay flatter so it doesn't catch on things or whatever. That's where, again, taking those stickers or those ephemera pieces, I literally just had an ephemera pack sitting here, you know, the ephemera pieces like this, and gluing them on your leftover cardstock and then fussy cutting around them. Or if you've got the scan and cut, which literally this is the only reason I have the scan and cut, I could go through and glue all of these ephemera pieces onto cardstock, feed it through that, and it will cut my perfect little borders around all of these pieces. And then I can just come through and go, oh yeah, this one goes here and this one goes here. And, you know, embellish it that way with where it gives it, you know, some dimension by having it mounted on that cardstock, but you're not like popping it up, but you're giving it the illusion of dimension. That's the word I'm trying to look for. So, so yeah, there you go. I will, of course, you will have seen the walkthrough of the final book with the introduction video for this series. As always, thank you for watching. I've been meaning to do this type of project for a long time. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, I was trying to go through and make a list of things I wish I'd known when I made my first book. You know, I can't even tell you how many covers and things I ruined trying to master, you know, the other method. This method of making your covers, this lay flat method, so much easier. But as always, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you go and find some of my other projects. I have things that are just as simple as this up to incredibly detailed and complicated and involved, and those are usually the Disney projects. But as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!